to Abundant Heart Speaks. This is our first vlog post. Yay! And thank you for joining us today. So why don't you do us a favor and go on and hit that subscribe button, the one right down there, and go on and hit that little bell right next to it and join us, that whenever we put up a vlog, that you guys will be the first one to receive it. So let's jump right into our conversation today. So what we do at Abundant Heart Speak is that we help enhance relationships. And we do that through transparency and truth. And we do that by being real, raw, and relevant. But don't make any mistake, it's still godly, because that's who we are. We are Christians, and we live for God, and we live for each other. And so we're here to share our experiences and things with you so you can enhance your relationship. So upon doing research and looking all on social media, the news, and talking to our friends about what to bring to you today, we ran across something that was really kind of troubling, interesting, and something we knew we needed to talk about. And that was the spike in infidelity that's running rampant right now. Whether it's with believers, people who follow Christ, or non-believers, those who do not, it's still a spike in infidelity across the board. That really hit home, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. But what we are going to talk about today, we found in a quote from Dr. Kelly James Bonewell, and it is intentionally protecting your relationship. So we want to read that quote because that's what sparked it for us. So we hope it'll spark something in you as well.
And he stated, "And I am not immune in my own life. I have experienced the same struggle and temptation. I too am bombarded by the message of my culture. You are your own. You do not have to answer to anyone.
Wow.
Go ahead. No one will know. While I have been faithful up until this point of my marriage, I know without being intentional in protecting my marriage, I also could become another statistic."
And guys, the statistics are alarming. They really are. We'll bring those to you at a later time. But that is the reason why we're doing this vlog post. Because what we have noticed is that in social media, what you see is not always the truth. And what we want to do is bring you the truth as we know it. The good, the bad, and even sometimes the ugly. But what we want to do is have you to learn and grow, enhance, and enrich your relationships. And so with that being said, there are various ways to protect all relationships. Not just marriages, but that is our focal point at some point. But we're talking about relationships with friends, family, co-workers, even members of your church. All relationships need protecting. And so we can't negate any of those. But the one that really needs the most protecting, that relationship that we have with ourselves and the relationship that we have with God. That's the one that really needs protected because he is the foundation and the glue that holds it all together. So what are some things that we can help our heartbeats with protecting themselves?
Well, heartbeats, I would say, first and foremost, we need to stay grounded with God. That's first and foremost. And because through God, we can do all things. So we must stay connected with him. Stay in our word.
Yes.
By doing things that we know is right.
Yes.
And that's what I would tell you guys. To always look for the right road, the right.
Yes.
And not the left.
Right.
Always go right.
Yes, absolutely. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof leads to destruction. So, we have in our own minds, just like the quote said, I am my own. No one to know. But guess what? That road leads to some place you never, ever even intended to go. And so the best thing to do is try to stay off of that road. And guess what? It's okay to take a stand. It's okay.
It's okay
to run. It's okay. I had to do it. Before I got married, I was celibate. And that didn't keep the guys away from the chase, but that had to keep me chaste from them. And some of them I would tell, oh, I don't do that. Oh, you get called everything from being, gay to you're immature to this is just a phase you going through. And, but the whole point of the matter is it didn't matter what they said. What mattered to me is what God said about me. It mattered what I felt like about myself at the end of the day. When I looked in that mirror, did I feel good about myself? Or did I feel bad and riddled with guilt? And that's a place and a road you do not want to go down.
That's correct. And I would say also, there's been points in my life where I always wanted to seek God, even when I wasn't doing so good.
Amen.
As a matter of fact, when I was at my lowest and I didn't have anything else, or I didn't have friends to run to, I knew I had God. There was a point in my life where, and I'm not going to say I didn't have friends, because I did have friends. But at that time, I felt like I couldn't go to my friends.
Oh, that's good. That's a good point.
So I always had friends. But with that being said, I knew I had God to go to seek out, and God to find. And when I found him, I found a great thing.
Absolutely. But what did you do in the meantime before you found him? Because I don't want to give them the perspective like, oh, it was all good and all you got to do is find God and that's it. Because we do know it's a process. Within that process, what did you do?
Well, within that process, I had to change who I was.
Okay.
I had to change myself. I had to change my heart. I had to learn how to love and not hate. That process, I had to learn how to pray.
Okay.
In that process, I had to learn how to get up and dust myself off.
All right. Yeah. So, and that's what we want to do. We want to give you the full picture. And the full picture is there is a process to even protecting your relationships. You may be in a relationship right now where you feel you're not being protected by your loved one, or you're in the relationship with God and you feel like you're not really protecting that relationship between you and him, or you're a single mom and you feel like you're really not protecting that relationship with your child. Guess what? You can start today. You don't have to wait. You can start right now, and the best thing to do is stop, pause, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to do better. And the I'm going to do better can be embracing your child. The I'm going to do better is getting in your word. The I'm going to do better is learning what my spouse's love language is. My I'm going to do better is being able to treat myself to a pedicure. You just have to make the move. Faith without works is dead. You can't just hope and wish and dream. You have to make moves towards what your better is going to be. And so that's why we are here, Heartbeats. We're here to help you with that. So now we want to hear from you. What do you do to intentionally protect relationships in your life? Tell us about whichever relationship. You could tell us about each one, or you could pick out one in particular. But we want to hear from you. This is a conversation. We don't want it to be one-sided. As we talk to you, talk to us. We welcome it.
Yes. And whatever's on your mind, on your heart, we want you to know that you can talk to us about it.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, most of the experiences we have experienced ourselves.
Absolutely.
So we can elaborate on it once you send us messages and once you contact us through our website, and we will be able to hopefully be able to help you guys on the right path.
That's right. And don't forget to also follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram. So, Heartbeats, we wish you well. And we pray that everything will be well with you. And as your heart prospers, your soul prospers. And we want you to be in good health. Until we speak again, we love you, Heartbeats.